Hey guys, and welcome to a new episode here on Phloshop. My name is Joseph. So I found myself doing a photo shoot for a client, and I also took a little bit of behind the scenes. But then I also wanted to ask you guys if you can tell which of these images was shot with the iPhone, or one of them shot with my Canon, or two of them shot with my Canon. So basically, you tell me in the comments down below. You can just comment and say the one on the left, the one in the middle, the one on the right. Was shot with the iPhone. So but I'm gonna let you know at the end of the video which one was shot using the iPhone, or which two was shot using the iPhone, and I'm gonna show you EXIF files just to prove. I renamed all of them to CR2 just so you can't really tell which one was shot with the iPhone just by looking at the file name, and also knowing that it's not going to change the metadata in the file. Renaming it wasn't really much of a problem, since I could still prove to you guys which one was shot with the iPhone, or which two, or which three, or whatever happened during the photo shoot. So just watch the behind the scenes, and later on I'm going to display these images again with the EXIF files to let you know which one, or which two, or which three were shot with the iPhone. So stay tuned. Okay, so in the beginning I did say I was going to show you or prove to you which one was shot with the iPhone. So here we go. I'm just going to go through the metadata with you guys, and also go through some of the things that make it easily identifiable as to which one was shot with the camera and which one was shot with the iPhone. So here we go. Okay, so I'm going to go over the images one after the other, and I'm going to start off with this image. So I'm going to right click and then just say open in camera raw, so that we can just view in detail what's happening in the image. So obviously, looking at the background, you can tell that this was shot with the pro camera, and that is the Canon 6D. By looking at the depth of field, this is very difficult to achieve with mobile phones, even though now even with my A+, for example, you have portrait mode, and with some of the Google phones you can blur the background even while shooting. But this looks really well done, and it's only a pro camera that can do that. So looking in the eyes, I shot this with an LED, and we had the ring light behind the model, and to her right, your left if you're looking at the image, and that is how come we have the rim on this side. And so the settings for that was 1/100, just so I could bring in all of these existing lights into the shot. My LED was the Yongnuo, I've forgotten the name. I'm gonna put a link in the description as well. But then yeah, that was it. And then we put a reflector below just to fill in the shadows, and then her ring light is what was rimming her on the side. So if you look at the settings, I was shooting at f5, 1/100, and ISO 640. And this is because the lights were not as bright as I really wanted them to. And I wanted to shoot at f5 because I didn't want to blur the image so much. I just wanted to get a little bit of detail in her skin. And that's how my shots at that. So if you look in her eyes, you notice that this is the LED. It was diffused with scrim. And this is the reflector below. All right. So again, if we go to the lens corrections area and I click on enable profile corrections, there you see that I shot this with a Canon, and the model is the EF100 f2.8 macro. That's the lens I used on my Canon 6D to shoot this file. And yeah, that's one way to tell what I use. Also at the top you notice they've written Camera Raw 11.1 Canon EOS 6D. So this image was shot with the Canon 6D. So let's move on to the next one. Alright, so I'm clicking on this one as well, and again I'm going to open with Camera Raw, and right at the top you can see Camera Raw 11.1 Canon EOS 6D. But this image I shot with my parabolic and my strobe light. So if you look in here, you can see that's the parabolic behind me, and that's the silhouette of me taking a shot of the model. So for these, because I was using a strobe, I was able to, you know, go even higher on my f-stop, and so that was f11 1/60s and ISO 125. I like to shoot low ISOs when I'm using speed lights because I feel I'm able to retain the natural colors and also reduce a lot of noise in the image. Even though the one prior to this, you didn't really see a lot of noise in the image, and that's because the camera has a good dynamic range and the ISO performance is really great on the Canon 6D. So I was able to get away with that. Alright, so I'm going to go again to the lens corrections and enable profile corrections, and you can see it says the make is Canon, the model is EF100 2.8 macro, and yeah, Adobe Canon 100mm f2.8. yeah, so this also was shot with my Canon. That leaves the last one, and I'm going to click on that, click on Camera Raw, wait for it to open up, and let's go over that as well. So right at the top you can see this is Camera Raw 11.1 Apple iPhone 8 Plus. So this is an image I shot with my iPhone, and I have a few tweaks here just to, you know, just because shooting on set, the white balance, the LEDs, all those things, it just influences the colors in the images. So I just shifted those a little bit just to, you know, make a match with what I got from the 6D. Nothing major. If I go onto the lens profile, you'd see the make is Apple iPhone 8 Plus back camera, and the profile is Adobe Apple iPhone 8 Plus back camera or whatever. So yeah, if you look inside the eyes as well, we had two lights below. This was actually even before we started shooting. She had those ring lights that have these bendable arms, and that is what I used to fill in the shadows. And I had the ring lights on one side, and this I think is also from the LED, but it was also diffused just a little bit. Okay, so basically I did this so you wouldn't really worry so much about the kind of gear that you're using. Also, if you're a makeup artist and you're working on set and you want to be able to take pictures of your models, you know, sometimes waiting for the photographers to give you images is a bit challenging. So if you have your phone and your LED, your ring light, you can just take decent images. This was taken without a reflector, just two LED lights, one being a ring light as the main light lighting her up, and the other two with the bendable arms was below her, just filling up the shadows. So I don't know which one I'm going to be retouching, but I'm sure I'm gonna do a retouching video, and I'm gonna put that I'm gonna upload that next week. So if you want to watch that as well, how I'm gonna retouch the image from the iPhone and from the 6D, one of them from the 6D, just to can stay. So if you're new here and you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. I'm also gonna do a more in-depth video of me either shooting with my iPhone. I'm gonna like have a dedicated video shooting with my iPhone, and I'm also gonna have another video dedicated to shooting beauty with my LED lights. So if all these things are things that you really want to see and you'd be interested in, do let me know in the comments, and I will see you in the next one. Bye everyone.